Welcome to the F1 Time Portal. Today, we're sharing our POV on the 2026 Miami Grand Prix. I'm your host, Luigi.
And I'm your other host, Rosa. So let's go. Hello, Luigi. How are you? I'm pretty tired, I have to say. The race was on at like 2 o'clock this morning and I got up at 5 to watch it. And then went to work and here I am. And Nacho is here with us. Hello.
Hello. Thanks for having me again. So happy to talk about something that is happening now.
Yes.
Yeah, there has been a 5 weeks
50
later.
years ago.
Yeah. Where I wasn't even born.
I misunderstood, Nacho. I misunderstood. I thought you meant since the last F1 race, but yeah, you're probably the 1970s or something, right? Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can connect back to those races. What year was it? Do you remember, Nacho?
19.
You did 79, didn't you, Nacho?
I did 65 also. I did one of the first races. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see if we can find parallels to 79 as we go through this.
Definitely. We can talk about all the Argentinian great drivers. Fangio, Colapinto, same, you know.
Wow, that's a stretch. Well, let's get started. Should we talk about the Miami Grand Prix? And we'll do it in order. So any comments or observations about sprint qualifying?
Yeah, I mean, I was so surprised Mercedes was not like dominating. I'd expected that would happen. Now they banned that trick they had, but they still have the fastest car, right? And Russell finished sixth on the grid for the sprint qualifying. He was having like a tough weekend.
Yeah. And
yes, he said, didn't he, that this was one of his worst tracks ever on the calendar. It was too slippery. He's a very precise and controlled driver, Luigi. It's how he described himself. Very smooth. He described himself as a very smooth driver. And he doesn't like this track because it's too slippery and slidey and you just got to drive with a bit of gut. And, he sort of made excuses all weekend, right from sprint qualifying. George?
Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah. I'm wondering, I mean, this is going to be a theme through this conversation, I think, is Antonelli getting in George's head? I'm not saying Antonelli's doing anything to get in his head other than doing a great job. So therefore, the rest is up to George to do, you know, and he is duly done.
Antonelli is living rent free in his head. Is that what you're trying to say?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look, it was a hard weekend to get a hold of because like without the practices and then you go straight into, there was one practice, wasn't there? We won't really talk about that, but then there was like the sprint qualifying and it was a surprise. I was also surprised that Mercedes weren't as strong anymore.
Yeah.
I think we need to remember how Kimi also started really well last season at the beginning, but then through their European bit, he did really bad. Hopefully that won't be the case again, right? I think it's good for the overall championship that Kimi is quite far ahead now, but I just don't think that in the long run he'll beat Russell, even though I want to.
Ooh.
You mean this year?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. What about you, Louis? What did you think of sprint qualifying?
Well, first of all, those listening would know that Rosa and I had the opportunity to be in Japan for the 2026 Japanese Grand Prix, and the Racing Bulls car looked so awesome. It was the best looking car.
It was.
And then they put this awful yellow on it. So I just want to call that out. It's just terrible. Did you like it?
No.
It was a bit of an insipid yellow, wasn't it? Like, it could have been a little bit brighter and a bit deeper. If they fully committed to the yellow, I reckon it would have looked good. You know, like the old Renault cars or the Jordan car, Louis.
Yeah, they
There you
owned
go.
it.
There's a link back to 1979.
Oh, nice. Very good. Let's see who can win. I'm going to see if I can come up with one. But yeah.
But that car was awful. It was very insipid. That's the only word I can use to describe it.
Yeah. And that's been a good car this year. I also was disappointed to see, I mean, we know Hadjar's not going to have the greatest weekend now, but he was 1 second behind Max in sprint qualifying. And I thought, oh no, this is like the old days, you know? And I was like, not again. And not Hadjar, because I really still think Hadjar's a star, although I don't like his temper, but I think he's a star. And, this is my favorite bit. Shall we make this the last comment to make about sprint qualifying?
Oh, no, I've got one more. I've got one more after you.
I want mine to be the
too.
last one because it's funny.
All right. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll go next, Nacho. I also noticed that the Ferrari drivers Charlie's helmet was light blue. I think that was a little bit of a nod to the American light blue Ferrari that they had that time.
Are you guessing or you know?
In 1950-something, I think. They raced in Miami in America with blue cars when Enzo's had a fight with Ferrari
60s?
and they wouldn't let his cars out of the country or something. So he raced the American Ferraris or something, and they were blue. And they had blue tunics underneath their racing suits.
Cool.
Yeah, so I thought that was cool. Yeah, a nod to history. I like these nods to history.
Yeah.
Did the Mercedes purple jumpsuit look like fake AI when they first put it? It was terrible. I thought it was AI generated.
Awful.
What was that signifying?
I don't know. Well, Miami, I don't know.
I mean, if we cared enough to look it up, we would have. But if it was a cool dragon, maybe we'd look it up. Okay, so you know what I think was the best part of sprint qualifying? We spent way too long talking about a little
sprint qualifying.
But you know, maybe that's a reflection of we'd had a lot of other side chats there, right? Aston Martin's time in sprint qualifying would have earned it last place on the F2 grid.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's pretty special.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Alonso must be like, I'm cursed.
Holding his tongue.
He's
holding
really
his tongue.
Wow. Wow.
I thought that was a fascinating factoid of the weekend.
Very good factoid. I like it.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad. Like, really, Alonso, like, is such a good driver to watch. And he's like a master of like kind of manipulating the race. And like this guy is so far back. Like I think as a fan, I kind of miss him being at least in the middle pack because he just brought like a lot of things to the race that now, it's not happening. I guess we're getting it with Max in the middle pack, but
I also don't want it to be how he retires. I mean, there was such great expectations for that team having Adrian Newey join them.
Yeah.
And we thought, you know, could Alonso get back up, fight for a championship again? That's where he sort of deserves to be. And I don't want him to have this as his final hurrah.
Yeah.
It's not a good ending.
Half of his career has been like this, though.
So
yeah, and I'm not even an Alonso fan at all, but I wanted to see him win races this year. It was so much fun when he was fighting the Red Bulls. And he nearly won Monaco, and I mean, he was up there. So yeah. So we should move on to the next part of the race, shall we? As we have another divergence. The sprint race. So we head back to 2025.
2025?
Yeah.
Well,
That's my summary of the race.
My one word summary is boring. That's it.
Agreed. When I looked at it, I was like, oh my God, they've undone the regulations. This is like horrible.
Yeah. You know what?
That's
You know the feelings you've got? This is where I was processing this while watching it. Now, we've just had 3 races. Like, you're a kid. Just imagine you're a kid. You're going to 3 meals in a row, and it's ice cream, and the next meal is ice cream, and the next meal is ice cream. Hey, you like meat pies, but you also like ice cream a hell of a lot more. But you come to this race, you get meat pie, your favorite dinner. Nah, I want the ice cream. That's what's happening right now.
So you're saying that we got used to junk food,
Yeah.
and now that we've got less junk food, we should still be enjoying it, but we're not.
It's a healthy diet, protein, carbohydrates.
It's boring.
I
don't know.
I thought you were going to say broccoli. Like, I feel like we got served broccoli rather than ice cream. I don't know. It was just very flat, don't you think?
Yeah.
Like, there was just no overtaking. They all spread out again, and there was just nothing that happened. Maybe it's the track. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't think it's the track because, well, I mean, we'll get to the race. The race was entertaining, but I think the interesting thing is like the drivers are still not happy about all this, even though like I guess the fans are enjoying this a lot, right? So I think that's the thing that is tricky with these regs is like, well, everybody else except for the drivers is having fun, right? So it's like, well.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if they're going to complain about it all year long. Like,
well, they'd asked, did one of the, I don't know which part of the weekend it was. It must have been after the sprint qualifying. I don't know. They were talking to Piastri on those couches, and they asked him what the 3 best things and the 3 worst things of the new regulations were.
Yeah, yeah.
And he couldn't answer either one. Like, he couldn't answer the 3 best things because he couldn't think of any, and he felt like he couldn't really say what the 3 worst things are because he'd get in trouble. So I think there's still a lot of, I think you're right, Nacho, there's still a lot of unacceptance.
Well, let's put it this way. This is like not Nacho's, this is like Piastri's second race. Because remember, he missed one, the other one he went out before. He hadn't done a lap until the Japanese Grand Prix. So he's only new to this, unlike the other drivers that had 2 more races. And he was basically saying it's a bit random, all the closing speeds are huge. Trying to anticipate that as a defending driver is incredibly tough to do. And he said he was really upset with George for making a particular move on him, but then he did exactly the same thing 5 laps later. And I think he realised it was hard to not do.
Which just goes to show how much control the drivers don't have in that car.
Yeah.
Which is not the kind of racing we want to see, really. But anyway, I don't know. I've got nothing else. Like the sprint, who won it? Norris. Oh, yeah, Norris won it. So that was a surprise too, that the McLarens came good.
Yeah, they started to come good. And Max,
is it a surprise? I mean, they're the world
they
champions,
started
right?
The year. Yes, but they had all those problems in Australia. They couldn't even get going. They didn't even start in Australia.
Yeah.
And in China, they had problems as well, didn't they? So
I know, but their team is still the same, right? Like in the sense that they have like probably the best engineers at this point, and you'd expect them to come back.
We will see. We will see, I think.
Yeah.
I think they will come back. But Mercedes had no upgrades this weekend. Ferrari had like 11. And McLaren apparently had a new car. So make of that as you will,
Well, that's how they won the last championship, right? They spent 1 year doing nothing and they rebuilt the car from scratch within the half a season.
Yeah, they
and then
did.
they won everything, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Who came second and third, Louis, in the sprint race?
In the sprint race,
it was
Norris won
Oscar
it.
and Leclerc.
It was a Mercedes one. McLaren won too.
Oh, okay. Oscar and then Charlie. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Leclerc.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Are we going to have to talk about Ferrari? But anyway, let's keep going.
We are going to get
what's
there.
next?
What's
next?
Qualifying. We're up to qualifying. We're up to qualifying now.
Qualifying.
So, yeah, I've got a few interesting comments to make. One thing I wanted to start with was Piastri nearly getting locked out of Q1. And he only just made it. He's obviously trying to preserve one of his sets of tyres. And he opened it. It was sort of an open secret, I guess. I think all the top teams try it. And I like how the team said to him, you made it through safely. And his response was, safely, I may have get this a little bit wrong, but safely is an ambitious word for it.
Yeah.
Something like that. And I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah.
It was funny. But what was not funny was when they spoke to Zach Brown about that whole strategy. And did you hear what he said about it?
No,
he said, "Oh no, there were electrical problems that we were trying to fix, and we got pulled up by a few electrical problems." And I went, "That's a lie. You purposely did it to save tyres, and have an extra set of softs for Q3." And he just wouldn't admit it. He just went, "Oh yeah, no, we just had some problems, it caused us a bit of heartache, but we'll get through it." And I was like. And this is why people don't like Zach Brown, because he just isn't. I don't mean for him to be like. I don't think anyone expects him to like give secrets away, but don't treat us as if we're idiots.
But what's the point of saying that?
I don't know exactly.
Okay,
I have no idea. But he just wouldn't say it. I don't know.
Okay.
I think
are you going to defend that, Zach?
Oh no, Zach? you know how I feel about Zach, and you're the McLaren fan, and I still don't understand how, like with this guy at the helm, like it's like, oh,
I'm not thrilled to have him in that team. I mean, I feel sorry for Red Bull fans. I mean, if you're a Christian Horner fan, you'd be thinking, what's Marco doing there? And if you're a Marco helmet fan, you're saying, why you put that boring guy in that place? So at least we've just got a common enemy, Zach Brown.
Yeah. I think he's become now the top ranking hated person in Formula One, I think.
Luigi's got another one.
No, but that's why Zach wants Christian Horner to come back. Like he actually has said that.
No, you've got another one, Louis. You're not a big fan of Briatore.
Oh, yes, of course.
Yes. Oh, yes. I agree. But he's smart enough to not appear almost anywhere. You know, that's the difference. He knows he's hated, but he's like doing everything behind the shadows,
under the radar.
Rosa, I even had a thought to reinforce your comment about Briatore. I had these thoughts while I was on this quiet drive with myself, and I thought, imagine if we got Briatore as a guest on our podcast, and I'd be in two minds. I'd be like, yay, awesome, get this big name, pull in new fans, and then it's like, but it's Briatore.
So what you're telling me is I'd have to do the show by myself. Is that what's happening here?
I mean, it's like
I'd have to call Nacho in. Nacho, you're coming with me.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, hey, man, you have Colapinto. I love you.
Good.
What else in qualifying?
I was very surprised that McLaren was nowhere. Like Lando, after winning the sprint, like finished 4th, Oscar 7th.
Yeah.
What was that all about? Like,
you see, I wasn't surprised that they were nowhere. That was more like what I expected from them this weekend. I know that they brought upgrades and whatever, but that kind of made more sense to me than coming 1-2 in the sprint.
But they won the sprint. Weird. They had the car, right?
Yeah, but 1-2 in the sprint. Didn't. This is a very unusual track. Yeah. Yeah.
And also talking about the best driver out there, Colapinto beating Gasly.
Yeah.
Again, I must say.
Luigi has famously called the Alpine a that dog of a car. And ever since then, they have been going from strength to strength, Luigi.
To prove me wrong. Look, I don't mind Gasly, and I don't mind Colapinto, other than I still think Doohan was ripped off last year. But like, give Doohan time. I mean, he may not have been as good as Colapinto, I suspect. But
he didn't have the money. He didn't have the backing of an entire country. And Formula One, as we know it, is all about the money. Like, you have to be fast, right? But if you're fast and have money versus somebody that's faster and doesn't have money, well, it's
just
the Stroll dilemma, we call it.
But that's where you have some drivers that get to Formula One without the money, and it's really impressive. They still got the money via sponsorship, though, but they didn't have to fund it themselves, like maybe some drivers.
I have an interesting observation for qualifying, and that's what happened to Lawson. Have you got that in your notes, Loy?
Are you talking about when he was trying to get into Q2, you mean?
Yes, and he stayed in his car because he thought that there was going to be was it a disqualification or a lap being, I can't remember now exactly
on Albon, I think. They were hoping Albon was going to have his lap deleted.
Deleted because of track limits. And so he stayed in the car, thought he could get in, and then they didn't decide for like 2 hours or something, like 2 hours after qualifying. They then said, that Albon time was deleted, which was ridiculous. The poor guy then doesn't get into Q2.
But that's how they always do it, right? They never take a decision before, like once the qualifying is set, that's it.
Well, why did he even, what precedent was he setting by going in the car? Because we've never seen someone go, 5 minutes to go, okay, off you go. You know what I mean?
Well, apparently they fixed, the FIA said that they would fix that to happen during qualifying because it's track limits. You can easily tell when a car goes outside of, it's not a judgment call. Don't have to talk to the drivers. What happened here? Did your tyre go out? They can see it. And I thought they had fixed that this year so that they could do it immediately. And like one of the races, maybe not this year, even at the back end of last year, they were doing it immediately and all the lap times were being deleted. And this year, they wait 2.5 hours. In fact, I have to say that the stewards and the decision-making was pretty poor this race. But anyway, that's more for during the race conversation. But I have to feel sorry for Lawson there. He's not having a good time.
Yeah, and Lindblad's giving him a very hard time.
Yes. I'm going to suggest he might not be very successful. Yeah,
Lawson.
F1 campaigner. But anyway, Lawson.
Yeah, he's in trouble, I think. I agree with you. Yeah. And Hadjar, way behind Max again.
Yep.
Yeah. And the top three. Well, do you know, this is his third pole position in a row. And of course, we're going to talk about this. But only two other drivers have ever achieved that, and that was Senna and Shoemaker.
That is unbelievable for me to hear that. Like not even Clark or Stewart or Fangio.
Or Colapinto, you know.
Reutemann. That's a good. I mean, that's a good stat, isn't it? And what's he 19 or something as well?
Yeah. So this is pretty special achievement, and we know there's more to come, of course. But yeah. Any other comments on quality?
It was Antonelli, Verstappen, and Norris, wasn't it?
And and Max being up there was such a surprise. You know, that Ford is coming good. It's only their fourth race. And Max is starting to get in the sweet spot. He started to destroy his teammate. Might be early days, but yeah, Max in second was a real highlight. And even Leclerc in third was up there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Max was back to his bubbly self, wasn't he? He was happy. He was like, they'd made some changes to the car so that he felt much more in control. Yeah. So I was like, oh no, back to 2023. Here we go.
Yeah.
And this is what we want to see, right? Like the top 4 different manufacturers, right?
Yeah.
Different
Yeah.
teams. So
Yes,
I think that's the exciting thing. Like, I think I do
it
like
is.
in that sense that I know Mercedes is kind of a bit ahead than the rest, but it's all still quite close, right? And I think that makes it exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think in the 70s, Rosa, we had a lot of, I guess, in 79 for sure, there would have been races where the top 4 were 4 different marks. And we'd normally call it out because that is pretty special when it happens.
it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So,
Definitely in the 60s and yes, definitely in the 70s. Absolutely.
and we got a good
Yes.
race. We're about to talk about what I think was a fairly good race. And we got it. And I think partly because we had 4 different manufacturers in the first 4 spots.
Yes.
So one thing I was going to open up with was Leclerc showed that the rule changes have not taken away from Ferrari starts.
No,
Really?
that's right.
Yeah.
Yes. That I was a bit nervous that because they did change something about the starts, didn't they? And I was a bit nervous that everyone would that Ferrari would be pulled back to be with the rest of the group.
Yeah.
But no, that hasn't happened. Or it could be that just Ferrari's a bit of a Gilles Villeneuve starter.
You mean
There you go.
Leclerc
There's another link.
yeah. Damn, you're winning easy.
Yeah.
I think that's due to how Ferrari has the small turbo. So they can kind of rev faster than the other ones that have a bigger turbo. So the turbo lag for every other car is longer than the Ferrari. So they'll still have that advantage.
Yeah.
What's crazy is that Max having that spin in turn 1 and nobody crashed. Nobody crashed.
Yeah.
I think there was like maybe one of the Audis that had to change their nose after it, but like nothing major. And you're like, that never happens. He did it like a full, a full
and he
360
did.
and continue going.
And he controlled it.
He controlled it.
He controlled it.
Yeah.
That's how he controlled it while he had cars swarming on either side of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Very good skills, I think, from Max there. And it was a driver error as well, which is very unusual for Max. Well, when you say driver error, it's not like he hit anything or anyone hit him. Yeah. Whether the car just had a burst of speed because of that battery deployment, I don't know. But
they
pretty much lost control of the car.
The wheels.
You mean the Ferrari? No, they didn't.
No, they didn't. No.
They even said, when I say they, I'm talking about Sky TV's host, the UK commentators. They made a comment that it seemed like, okay, they said the word spooked. I think that's obviously a more exaggerated term.
Yeah.
But they said that Max may have been spooked a bit by the Ferrari because it did jinx to the left a little. And that caused him to potentially overcorrect, which triggered the spin. So, yeah.
I mean, for Max, it was a scrappy race, right? He had in the end, the 5-second penalty. But I think it was one of the most exciting drivers to watch because he was like, no bullshit, right? He was just going for it on every single pass.
He was like a bowling ball going through. Like how many cars did he hit in those first 5 laps?
Yeah, he was done. He was done. He was like, I'm taking you down with me. Get out of my way. I'm taking you down with me. So,
but it was very Max exciting to see him cut through the field like that. That was like good old Max days whenever he did that. Yeah. Their strategy, Luigi and Nacho, what did you think of the strategy for Max? Because they changed tyres in that safety car period. Do we want to talk?
Strategy car. Remember we call it strategy car.
Yeah, the strategy car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, obviously it didn't work out. Did you think it would? Like, because it was like lap 6 of 57 that they put the hards on.
I guess. I think it was, he had nothing to lose, I think. He knew he was down in 8th or 9th at the time, wasn't he, about that point?
Yeah.
I think he felt like he had nothing to lose. Why not roll the dice? He was the only front runner that did it.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
And there was still a high chance. It was very early in the race. Probably we almost had another safety car. So then everybody would have had to pit there. I think it's a bold strategy, and it almost worked out. Right, he finished fourth before the
Yeah,
penalty.
before.
So
Mm,
I mean, and
Yeah.
Leclerc, right? But he would have finished maybe fifth. So I mean, I think it was
Yeah.
good.
yeah.
Okay.
If anyone could do it, would have been Max.
So I've got an interesting observation. I think it was around lap 5 when Antonelli took the lead and Norris, I think, had fallen back to third. You know, they were doing a little bit of shuffling. And Norris's engineer said to Norris, and it's the first time we've heard it on official radio, let them yo-yo. As in, obviously, we know the passing routine, but it was obviously implying let them yo-yo. They're going to use up their tires. They're going to overuse their batteries fighting each other.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I was like, oh, that's clever, you know, strategy. The next thing I saw, Norris was ahead of both of them. So he completely did not listen. He was told, let them yo-yo, let them go. And he just goes past them.
I
So
think
I
the
thought,
first part of that message was be patient,
yeah,
and the no patience at all.
yeah. I thought that was
I
very
mean, it
funny
was
to see.
working out for him, right? Like in the end, like before the safety car, I couldn't believe Antonelli had lost another place to Lando.
Yeah.
Right? It was like, oh my god! In my mind, I was like, oh come on, Kimi, you need to kind of do this. Like George is so far back, like it's your chance to kind of really make a lot of points versus your teammate, and it looked like he was fumbling it, right? Like we know in the end, like that pit stop and the undercut was the best strategy ever.
Yeah.
um, and I was so happy. He was so close. He was so close when he got
Yeah.
out of that pit with Lando next to him. I was like, oh my god! I was like cheering him on.
Yeah.
And then it was so like when the radio is like, oh, my paddle shifts are not working. Like there was so many
Yeah.
errors, and I think it was like really exciting in that sense that Lando could stay behind Kimi almost within a second for the entire race, right?
Yeah.
Like usually in the last few years of Formula One, this does not happen, right? Once you get up front, you get 20 seconds on the second car, and then that's it. But there was always like this jeopardy or like this thing that if anybody made a mistake, then the other car will pass them, right? So I think that was very,
Yeah.
very exciting about this race.
Yeah, and even the beginning, they were 3 wide in the first corner, obviously before Max did his spin. That's really exciting stuff. You also don't see that too often. So there was a lot to like. But I was going to ask you, Rosa, about this Ferrari, right? And it's not the end I want to talk about, first of all. It's something that happened on about lap 24 or thereabouts, where Leclerc was asked to stop. Obviously, he stopped. And afterwards, he asked, why did we stop? Next time we make a discussion,
Yes.
speak with me. I'm here as well.
I know.
What's
That
going on?
was-
What's going on in that team?
Well, it was interesting you say that because at that time that he stopped, there was still a lot of conjecture around this big rain cell that was going to hit the track. So everyone was kind of still preparing for rain. Now, whether the Ferrari engineers had some other intel about that rain not coming and they didn't want to say anything over the radio, or they thought they had a secret to capitalize on. But yeah, they called him in. And I also went, what are they stopping for? What if it starts raining? There's going to be like a need for intermediates or whatever. But yes, they even left Charles out of that conversation. Because you do hear a lot of drivers get asked by the engineers about whether they want to go off on wets or intermediates or whatever. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, even when Ferrari were leading the race during the safety car period, and I think one of the commentators said, oh, well, the leaders haven't stopped under the safety car, so no one else is reacting to that. And I thought to myself, don't follow Ferrari. don't follow Ferrari strategy. They're the worst people to follow.
Yeah.
So yes, he was not happy, was he?
I I don't think it was a bad call. Like if you think about like how strong the undercut was, they had to react to George, right? I think I don't think it was a bad judgment call, because in the end, if not, George would have passed him anyway, right? With the undercut, we know how strong it was. Like that gave Kimi the win.
Yeah.
So, the rain could have come. In the end, it didn't come.
Yep.
So
It didn't
it was
come.
nothing,
No,
right?
that's
So
right.
you had to protect against George's undercut.
Yeah,
Yep.
and can I just clarify, when I was reading out that quote from Leclerc, that wasn't having a go at Ferrari. I was more referring to the communication between them as drivers. Whether it was the right thing to do or not, I haven't got an opinion on. I'm just saying.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're not good at communicating with the drivers.
Yeah. So I was just going to talk about the other Ferrari thing, the ending.
The ending? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, can we just talk about how Charles was leading the race and then
Okay. Yep.
found himself in was it 5th or something after the pit stop? I think it was a really poor pit stop too, wasn't it? It was like a 3.8 second pit stop, which we haven't seen for a while from Ferrari. So he comes in after George, like George undercuts him.
Yeah.
And yes, all of a sudden he's nowhere. Like the speed is gone from that car. He's got nothing. And he's hanging in there, and Max is coming through the field. And then he was in 3rd? He was running 3rd. He'd gotten himself back up to 3rd in the podium.
Yeah.
And on the last lap,
he
spins. But unlike Max, he couldn't control it enough to not hit anything, and he slams into the barriers. And I don't know that we didn't really get much vision of it, but they say that he hurt or destroyed his front suspension.
Yeah, his car could barely stay on the road. The tire was wobbling, and
he
was back on the track to have another go with George. I think his other tire got hit on the other side. I think it was his left front got hit the wall, and then his right front hit George's car.
Right.
I'm surprised he was still driving at the end. Like, he got past the flag.
Well, it was the last lap, wasn't it? Well, he got penalised. He got a 20-second penalty for driving in unsafe condition and leaving the track, gaining an advantage.
So he didn't get in the top 10 because of that. Yeah, I'm just looking.
That's right.
Oh,
no, he finished in 8th, I'm pretty sure, but he was 6th.
Yeah.
And it's dropped him to 8th.
Yeah, the site I'm looking at is not adjusting for that.
Yeah, he finished 8th. At least he got points.
Yeah. But Nacho, I don't understand what they expected him to do. Like, he couldn't have stopped that car in the middle of the track I don't know. He slowed down. Everyone passed him. It's not like he was racing.
But the penalty was basically because he cut corners. They didn't penalize him because of driving the car under safe.
It was also, I think it was also that.
Unsafe driving.
Yeah, it was both. It was unsafe and cutting the corners and gaining an advantage. But who was he gaining an advantage over?
Yeah,
Everyone was passing him. He was doing, Aston Martin speeds. So, look, he was in such a bad mood after that, though. He was so upset. But again, why did he spin? Do we know?
Oh, I think he was just under so much pressure, tires gone. Like it was intense, right? But I think the other collision that we haven't talked about is the Gasly one.
Oh, yes.
Man, that looked bad. Like he did a full roll. That looked really, really bad.
And that was Lawson's fault. That he just lost it on the inside.
Yeah, 100%. Man, that looks scary. It reminded me of the one that was it
Alonso?
Zhou Guanyu.
Yeah.
Less speed, right? But the fact that it went flipped against the barrier. That looks scary.
Yeah. Luckily, no one got hurt, and those halos are just doing a great job, aren't they?
Yeah, thank God. Like we don't want to see anybody get hurt, right?
No.
But it was so confusing because there was another car there, like had broken down, and everywhere, and then all of a sudden they show Gasly like flipped against the barrier.
Yeah, there's a little bit of drama, and the race was won in what I'll call a good old classic, undercut way. It wasn't just lucky. That wasn't just a lucky timing pit stop. Yes, the undercut worked. It was a better option, but Antonelli just did such a special drive on the outlap in particular to really give him the opportunity to come out side by side like you were talking about earlier. So I'm just saying it was a good old classic race. One, not really on the track. It was one in the pits, but still, that's how so many, I'd say, my guess is 20% of races in F1 are won like that. Some stat like that, I'm sure.
I agree with Nacho. I'm glad he won. I'm glad that he's giving George a run for his money. I like the fact that we might see an Italian since 1953, Luigi, win a championship. First one since 1953, since Ascari.
What's the bet that if Antonelli wins this championship, that Italy will probably organise a formal riot and make Antonelli join Ferrari?
Yeah. I know. I wish he was in Ferrari. Then I would definitely support him.
He wouldn't win anything if not. At least now there's an Italian winning races.
Nacho, you
be happy.
Just stabbed me in the heart with a dagger. Yes, you're probably right.
Let's do a Lewis Hamilton. Let's do a Lewis Hamilton. Let Kimi win 8 world championship with Mercedes, and then when he's 45, he can go to Ferrari and do whatever he wants and just cruise along.
It's his farewell tour.
Exactly.
It'll be called Ciao.
Ciao, Kimi. Ciao.
Yeah, Kimi. Yeah.
So
what about what Charles said though about him not being good wheel-to-wheel racer? Was that in?
That was in the heat of the moment. Sprint race. Yeah.
He's so jealous. He's so jealous.
I mean, let's put this in our perspective. Let's not reveal our ages here, but let's say Nacho's 45, right? And Nacho's worked really hard. He's got a good middle manager position. And this 18-year-old comes in fresh out of uni and they say, oh, can you and Nacho work together on this project? And you're working together. You're sort of nurturing him, Nacho, for a season. And then the next season they go, oh, Jimmy, we'll call him Jimmy. And we're putting Jimmy's now your manager, Nacho. You've spent 20 years at that firm and Jimmy suddenly is 19. You showed him the ropes and now he's teaching you. Now he's your boss.
Hey, at least he'll remember we had good coffee chats, okay? Maybe I get a bonus.
So I don't know. I think this race has mixed things up a bit, hasn't it? It's put McLaren back up there.
And Red Bull. Red Bull is back.
And Red Bull, it's put McLaren and Red Bull, who were nowhere really in the first 3 races, and they're now in the mix, along with Ferrari still, I think. Yeah. I think what happened in this race was driver error. And then Paul Hamilton. We haven't spoken about Hamilton. Was it Colapinto that took Hamilton out? Or Bortoletto? No, it was Colapinto.
It was considered a race,
but it was a racing incident. So.
It was a racing incident.
Yes,
and Hamilton's got to wear it. If you're gonna qualify there, you take the risk to have that happen to you.
So yeah, Ferrari, I'd say wasn't really the cars issue. It was like racing incident and driver issue. And then Mercedes, hopefully, they keep getting Kimi up there.
Yeah, and see if Russell could get out of his head and get back into it. Like, is he going to stop accusing the track? But I was going to mention, as we know, the Antonelli has by winning his first 3 races in a row, he's now matched he's now the third driver to have ever done that, which is other than Damon Hill and Mika Hakkinen. They also, when they won their first race, they won their next 2. And of course, the stat that people are loving quoting is that he's the only driver in all history to have got his first 3 poles and converted all of them to wins. Even though we know he screwed up every start.
Every single one.
Yeah. Although this one was his best start out of the 3.
Yeah. By the way,
yeah, that is a good stat.
Yeah.
Did you how did you like guys like the Macarena wings from Red Bull and Mercedes? Do you think and Red Bull and Ferrari? Do you think everybody in the grid will adopt it?
I think so.
It looks really cool. It looks
really cool. Yeah,
a bit spacey.
Yeah, they Red Bull reckon that they did it first. I don't know.
Yeah,
but it does. It looks very advanced. I like it.
I wonder what Newey's thinking. Like, I didn't come up with that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I think Newey has other problems, Luigi. On the wing.
Yeah. But I guess one final thing I was going to mention is, obviously, this race happened 5 weeks after race 3. So this was race 4, and there were the Middle East races that were cancelled. So they made some tweaks to the regulations, as we mentioned earlier in this podcast. Do you think the sprint race was pretty dull, but this race was not? So is it pot luck? Have those minor changes fixed it? Is it too early to say?
There was less overtaking, wasn't there? There was still some, but not as much. Like cars weren't able to come back as much after being overtaken. It was still pretty exciting. I don't know.
I think the race had the factor that we had 4 different teams in the first 4 places. I think when you get like a front row lockup, then the races tend to be more boring because you know that package is definitely the best, right? So then they'll just go off into the distance and nothing will happen, right? Which is what happened in the sprint. I don't know. I'm just so worried this is gonna be back into the old Formula One. It feels like the drivers want this for some reason, you know.
Nacho, this is going to be a challenge for you because, like we said, you can't have ice cream all the time.
I can, Luigi, and I will die, and I will die happy. Okay. You have to die of something. At least it'll be ice cream, okay?
Overdose of ice cream. Yeah,
that's a good way. It's a good way to die. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, should we call it an app?
Yep.
Sounds
What's
great.
next? Is there a race next weekend?
No, Canada's in 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
2 weeks.
Another 3-week break.
And that's where we'll see the whole new Mercedes come along and probably get back to domination again. So
okay.
We'll see. We will see.
All right.
Well, thank you, Nacho, for joining us this evening.
Oh, I love this. I'm happy to join as many times as you guys need.
Okay. Good chat.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.